Welcome to the Michael and Ellis Show, Episode 6, recapping Survivor Season 47. We have special guest Nina here tonight. Welcome,
Hello.
Nina.
Hi there.
Before we do any discussion, let me just do the quick recap of the episode. This episode was the downfall of Rome. Maybe you're happy, maybe you're sad. For both of you, you had Rome as one of your players. We'll see how you guys feel.
Very
The real Rome fell in 476, while the Survivor Rome fell in season 47, episode 6. Shout out to Sam tweeting that. I thought that was a cool connection. Um, yeah, no, Rome's kind of game finally caught up to himself. He was going all over the island, talking to everyone. He was trying to expose Kyle, to try and set Kyle up as his main target, but Kyle ends up winning immunity. Um, in the immunity, there was actually a schoolyard pick, which was really cool. Community has been requesting that for a very long time. They haven't done it in a very long time. Genevieve was actually able to skip that whole portion of the immunity challenge because she
my queen.
got the advantage. Oh, and the tribes merged. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so we're at the individual portion of the game. And oh right, yes. So Genevieve got to go on reward with the winning team, I guess you call him. Teeny got super drunk at the reward.
Got wasted last episode.
And they came back to the island, and Rome's like fate was basically sealed the moment they got back to the beach. But before he got sent home packing, he did get to sit in Jeff's chair. So happy ending. Maybe not. He doesn't make jury. I guess here's we'll just start off with a question I have for you guys.
Mhm.
Did Rome make merge, or is he still a pre-juror boo?
Um, is that like a subjective question? Is it? I mean, he got out before the merge, right?
Well,
I
it's up for
made
debate.
the
Yeah,
merge.
you think
I
you made the
think he
merge,
made the
Michael?
merge. If you get out with that many votes, it's like the merge. Like everyone's voting. Like, come on, let's be real. One person had immunity. I would say like it's pre-jury at this point. Like, I mean, it depends. Some people are like,
Pre-jury, right, but
yeah,
not pre-merge.
but not pre-merge. The teams are gone, and it's not like a purgatory thing where it was like they didn't earn like. Well, I mean, I guess Rome technically didn't
Well,
his
Kyle,
merge.
I was the only one with the buff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it could be argued, but I see it as Rome made a merge.
He also, now that you say it, I guess he definitely, objectively, like his tribe got taken away when when they do the gray name. Something I didn't pick up on that Survivor does. They did like the
Hmm.
gray names when you're not on a
Oh,
team. So I get
Yeah.
he did have that honor.
Yeah. They
yeah.
put the little Chiron names. They changed the color on what your
Yeah.
tribe color is. Yeah, no. So the fall. I mean, Nina, did you see the fall of Rome? Did you see this episode being the fall of Rome? Were you able to sense
I
that?
did it. In fact, in the surviving group chat, I sent the downfall of Rome, literally. No one responded, but that's okay. And it I just I sent that thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a really good Rome episode. And then he got out and I was like, I feel like I like poorly manifested this happening.
The crumbling
Nina, this is all your
Colosseum.
fault.
Yeah. Sorry,
Rome would
Rome.
have stayed if you hadn't put that photo.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to get into the updated fantasy rankings? I can send you guys the updated scores real quick.
Yes, please.
As long as
Paste
I'm still winning, I'll be
send.
okay.
I
I
like
just sent
have
it
to
in
be doing
Discord.
pretty good.
I just sent it in Discord. You guys can see it there. And let me switch
Oh my god, Nina, we're first.
to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Michael is still in first place despite losing Rome. Nina, you have jumped into second.
Oh my
Sean
gosh.
Oh.
jumped into third as well, close behind. Abby has fallen all the way to fourth since losing Annika. Connor is
God.
Connor is on a tear. He's jumped I think he jumped like 3 spots. Biggest jump we've seen, I think, like in a while. And yeah, I was able to overtake Molly. I'm not I'm not I haven't given it up hope yet. Even though I probably should.
No, I mean it's really neck and neck. Yeah, wow. That's
Yeah, how do you feel now that you're in second place, Nina?
Well, I don't feel good because usually that means I'm gonna just plummet every episode to come. Unless like I have Sol and Sierra, so unless they like really pop off, I just don't think yeah, like I know when a player gets out, they like spike in confessional. That's like their episode when they get out. So
Mhm.
and Rome being quite the character, I think propelled me to that. But he was a confessional machine. He's not in
Oh
it
my
anymore.
gosh,
So
so good. So
yeah,
he's so awful, but so good.
he was my
Yeah.
favorite.
What a choice. I would not say the same, but he was a little bit too much of a man baby for me. I feel like this is a season of man babies, and I've had enough of it.
Yeah, like Andy.
Yeah, like Andy, Rome. I think
Oh
you can make
yeah.
the argument for Gabe.
That reminds me of the schoolyard pick, which I was very excited about, and then to immediately have my excitement crushed by the ad break and find out that
They cut it.
we won't even be able to get to watch it.
I
There
know
was
they
this
cut it. I was devastated.
there was a secret scene that Beck actually sent in the group chat that I completely missed after I sent it.
Because you
So
hate winning.
yeah,
I
no,
remember that.
I'm surprised they cut that because it actually had a funny moment of Andy talking about how he was always picked last in middle school and he's been working on himself. So, like now like his selection like doesn't even really matter, he has that internal confidence. And then he is picked last.
Um, yeah, do they do that? I was gonna ask you over text, but I think I waited. Is that normal? It's not usually a random draw.
It's usually random in cases like that where obviously it's not just like tribe division. They have done the schoolyard pick before as a twist in older seasons, but it hasn't been done in like 20 seasons. I think Gabon did like a tribe swap once where they like did a schoolyard pick, but
Right.
yeah, it's been a while. So I was excited to see it, but like without the strategy is a little annoying. You gonna say, Michael?
I really liked the idea of a schoolyard pick because like I think it adds to the drama, It's like people have to evaluate, okay, who do I like, but also like who's strong. And like I
Hmm.
think it really like adds to that drama because honestly, I think slowly over the course of this whole season we've just been watching Andy like ramp up and like this like constant flow of like super confident to like literally not confident at all. And I think finally we've
Yeah.
reached the peak confidence to when but then he sees his name written down and I think it's gonna plummet to like least confident ever. He's gonna go full self-destruction mode next episode. I'm excited for it.
Interesting.
My
Yeah.
prediction with Andy, I
I
think he's going home soon.
yeah, I remember that happened and we were all like, "Oh my god, like Andy's gonna freak next episode." And I just yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't see him being calm or collected or mature about that in any way, shape, or form.
I don't
Um,
know.
but we were talking about the challenge, which speaking of, I something I really liked about it is I really like when Survivor does challenges that aren't like strength equals a win right away. It's like
Hmm.
that was really unique, the thing with the ball and they had to balance it. That I
Yeah.
Being
really
super
liked that.
dominating.
Yeah,
My
Her
boy
and her
yeah.
like
Kyle.
wobbly thing.
My boy Kyle
Like
was able to pull out the
puzzles.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He
And that immunity necklace that they have, like fire,
yeah.
like so
I,
good.
It looks. I like the creativity. I can't tell if I like the execution of the bat. I'll have to get
It's
a
a little
second look at
big.
it.
Oh,
It
I loved
looks.
it.
I would want it almost to look like more real. Like,
It's a
Yeah.
taxidermied bat with
yeah,
paper
like
around it. Ew, dude, that's
doesn't have to
so
be like
bad.
taxidermy, but just like I don't know. It looked like maybe my memory is bad, but like I did it even have like fake fur on it? It looked just kind of like
No.
plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah, like
What
I
the
could
Yeah.
fuck?
have used a little more detail in that
I
bat
would
there.
not. Okay, I think I'd throw every immunity challenge to not get fucking fake about like around my neck. That just sounds.
Jeff
That's
is
just like
like
bat fur. Bat fur is like rough and coarse and bad. I don't want that around me.
Jeff is like Michael wins immunity, and he like
But no,
brings over
thank
the
you.
immunity necklace. No, 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 that's you can keep it, Jeff. That's okay.
Thanks. Well, I remember last year's season, Ellis, you said it was the necklace with the feathers. You went, that necklace is dope. If I won, I would never take that off around King. And that's all I could think about seeing the bat. And I was like, I wonder if he has it has a shared sentiment with this one.
If I was on Survivor and I won an individual immunity, I would just if I liked the design or not, I would just keep that just around my neck like the whole day, just to like stunt on people and like remind them, you know.
Yeah, you got it.
You gotta get it. You gotta play those mind games. You know, people don't think about the mind games in the individual challenges. You know.
Remind them who's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Kyle won immunity, and one question that I had for you guys that I thought was interesting. We see at the beginning of the episode Rome going into full messy mode and being like, guys, I had one talk with Kyle, and here's everything that happened. And
Oh
then
my god.
and you know his whole plan is like, I'm gonna plant seeds to get Kyle out. So one question I had is, do you guys think that if Kyle didn't win immunity, would Rome have stayed?
Hmm. Good
Or would he have a
question.
bigger chance rather than Kyle winning immunity and Rome's one target being kind of blasted out of the water, so he has to switch it up really quickly to Soul?
That is a really good question. Listen, I'll go first if you don't mind. Um, I think having immunity holds power. I don't think it holds like you just can't get out. I think Kyle just has better social skills than Rome. So Rome choosing to had Rome picked a different person to do that kind of thing with, I honestly don't think it would have blew up in his face as much, but he went really into it with someone that he didn't even really seem to know that well. And
Hmm.
Kyle seemed like a social butterfly. So, he was so fast to be like, fuck Rome. I don't know if I can curse on this, but he was
No, you're good.
he he was really fast to Rome tried and Kyle just blew up his whole thing immediately. So I don't think it's as much the immunity. I think he just messed with the wrong person personally.
I think I agree. Yeah, Kyle's able to turn on that southern charm. You know, what did he say? He's like, I'm a dumb idiot. Like
Yeah.
I'm a truth. I tell the truth. Blah blah blah. And like everyone was like, Andy was like, I believe you, Kyle. Like immediately, like
Great,
around
we love when Andy
the water
supports us.
well. Yeah.
Great
But
stuff.
let's just say like for the sake of like speculation, let's say Kyle loses, Sue would probably win because she came in second. So Sue
Yeah.
would have immunity. Kyle doesn't have his vote. So it was actually really important he won this during this actual specific immunity because he like didn't have a vote. Um and I would have been interested to see how Kyle would have navigated that because they gave him a lot of confessionals this episode about like this is really important to me to win because of that. And if he didn't have that protection, like would he have been able to like gather everyone around the water well and be like, listen guys, this dude Rome needs to get out of here. Like
Yeah.
would he have been able to make that big of a like statement? I don't know. But I feel like Kyle's name probably definitely would have been a bigger, like maybe he would have been the decoy vote instead of Andy. But ultimately, like I think Rome probably still was gonna go because him and Saul were just like they were gonna
Yeah.
end up like targeting each other regardless. And
It's not like Rome didn't make it difficult Like Kyle, I think especially the first vote of like merge, I think everyone is looking for like, okay, who's the easiest person? Nope, like who are
Mhm,
we just chilling if we all vote out?
mhm.
And I think Rome, like I think Rome just made it way too easy for everyone, especially Kyle, to be like, well, you know who's being loud and causing problems? Let's just get him out.
Yeah, there was some like complaining in like the Survivor like online community because they're always usually they do like mergatory, earn the merge, split them up into two groups, or like or not or they do that next week. This week they're like half of the people will be immune, the second half like won't. And then there was the hourglass twist and yada yada. But and now people are like they're like okay fine we'll try and like listen to you guys and do what like just do a normal one person wins immunity, and then people are like you know this boot too predictable? It was kind of boring. Like they started like I'm like guys, they literally gave you like what you wanted, and now you're like making the argument to go back to what we just hated. Like what are we doing? I thought this was fine. I thought it was great. Like the Rome
Yeah.
downfall was good.
I liked it. It's not like
I
Rome was a boring person. Like,
yeah.
you know.
I think the
It
argument was that sorry, just like the finishing statement. The argument was that like when there's that many people like in danger, it can lead to more conservative gameplay where it's like there's seems to be a consensus name. I don't want to rock the boat because there's so many moving pieces that I don't want to try and move the target and it end up falling on me. So I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys agree or disagree with that sentiment, but
I can definitely see how like that could be like the thought process. For me, personally, I feel like I'd go in the opposite direction. But maybe that's like maybe I'm the outlier in that
like
where I'm
Rome.
like, okay, not I wouldn't go as hard as Rome because what I think Rome's main problem was he forgot that the game basically starts over at the merge. Like he was thank you, Nina. He was playing the same game he was playing on the red tribe, like that he had built till now, where he was like in power in a good position. Not only does he not have any advantages anymore, so like the only reason he
Mm.
could possibly talk the way he used to talk was because he had an idol and that's Lavo. He's
Literally
keeping that
everything.
literally, he's keeping that like same mentality of I'm untouchable going into the merge with people who have not worked with him, do not know him. And it was like you kind of have to play a more low key game and you have to kind of start over because the majority of the people you don't know. And like, especially with like three tribes, like, you know, you're not going to know most of the people from the two other tribes. You have to start over. But Rum went like guns blazing, like, oh my gosh, I had one talk with Kyle. Let me like throw him under the bus in every single capacity and like not even learn any of the kind of relationships that are like formed on the other tribes and how this would like affect him. And I think he was also way too confident in Genevieve and like I guess just Genevieve. I don't know why he thought his tribe would back him up when Soul and TV both hated him. So it really was like just complete overconfidence and I think like not understanding that like you basically start over in the merge. The merge is like a starting over point.
Hmm.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it like that, but now that you say it, that really is where he went wrong. Like he guns blazing was like the perfect expression to use. He
Mhm.
like he just was not, and it's not like he was trying these big moves that were like really clever. He was just delusional. He thought he
Yeah.
was sitting pretty and he could not have been more wrong. And then the whole thing with like Jeff letting him do the survivor speech was just it was like charity. It felt like a pity. Like
I
like
literally wrote in my notes, it feels like a make a wish. Like a
yeah, it was like it was he must have been watching that and feeling so patronized. Like all these people are feeding into it. Like
It was kind of sweet when he started to get like teary eyed because like Rome is an esports commentator. Commentating is like his thing. Jeff is like literally
yeah,
his idol of who he looks up to as
yeah,
like not just like that's like his like career like that's who I want to like emulate. So like I mean he
yeah,
literally would
yeah,
talk about how when he watched Survivor, he would mute the challenges and try and like commentate them. Then he would rewind, unmute them, and then like listen to Jeff, and he'd like compare notes to see like how he did it and then how Jeff did it. So like,
I
yeah,
didn't
that
know
was that was kind of sweet. But it was also, I do agree with Michael. Like it really felt like, oh, it's his last day. Let's try and make this the best tribal for him ever before we have to send him to doggy heaven basically.
Yeah.
um
Oh,
I actually that
Like,
was I sorry, I forgot where I was going with that, but that wasn't the first someone, I think it was Tyson on his podcast was talking about how, or maybe it was, oh god, I'm mixing up my podcast, I can't remember, but they were talking about how Jeff apparently has been trying to get someone to sit in his chair for a while. At Winners at War, he even offered it to Yule, who's like a master. He's a one known for like a very like big strategist in Survivor lore. But Yule was smart enough to be like, I'm okay, Jeff. That's your thing. I don't want to like have the spotlight on me. In
during a
Survivor
time where it
101,
could be good.
yeah. Survivor 101, you don't want the spotlight on you, but I think that was something that Rome, just couldn't resist.
Rome did not understand that at any point of this game.
yeah. He it. I mean, sorry, I'm just at a loss of words. He really like he's just like a firecracker. I just feel like he's like a cautionary tale of Survivor. Like I feel like if I went on Survivor, I'd be like, wow, okay, I have to lay low because that's you can't.
with
I think
with
having
Oh yeah, you go.
oh
Sorry.
sorry. I think having a big personality can help like make friends, but you
Hmm.
can't not that big.
Yeah. With Survivor season 50 coming up on the horizon, what do you think Rome's chances are of making the studded all-star cast?
Yeah, I'm
Not
with Michael. I don't
top.
know.
Really? Wow.
Throughout 50 seasons of Survivor, like Rome, really? I mean, like Rome was entertaining and cool, and I do kind of hope he comes back because I feel like it could be a great chance for a redemption. Like
Hmm.
he was like a star that blew up way too fast, way too hot, and then like burnt out real quick. So I think like there's a lot he can learn from like coming on again. But like for like a Survivor 50 where it's like it's like an all-star season, right? Like
Yeah, they'd probably have a lot of people from the new era, and then maybe I don't. It's really, there's a lot of speculation of how they will structure it or what the theme will be. Um, but more than half of the cast will probably be from 41 and through 49. Yeah.
I don't think
I
Rome would make that cut, even with
yeah, I
just
don't think so
past
either.
40, the
Wow. Okay.
40 years. Like it's just like I feel like you gotta at least make final like 8 or 9, even halfway point. Come on, like to really make like an impact in the game. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Rome did a lot, but I think it was just all too soon. But one other question I had is
Yes.
everyone there was a overall consensus to vote Rome, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion because I thought it was interesting that at least, I mean, this probably was a point that they talked about, but it wasn't shown in the episode. Teeny, Genevieve, and Soul, do you think it was smart for them to vote Rome? Because now there's only 3 Reds left, and if we're going off of like tribe numbers and everything like
Hmm.
that, like do you
Yeah.
guys think it was in everyone's best interest to vote Rome? Who did like vote Rome, or do you think?
Nina, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, these are really good questions. I uh yeah, I didn't think about that, but I guess I would say I think here's the thing, like I get what you're saying, and I definitely think it would have helped them in an ordinary situation, like the Rome of all of it aside. I think it would have been a good idea to keep your original tribe, but he if they had kept him, let's say, I not only think he would bring and like if they teamed with him, I think he would not only bring unwanted attention towards all of them, but like he would keep clashing with Soul, and that wouldn't look good. And then it's like, I think Teeny would be in like the crossfire of like, oh, well, these are your alliance members. What's going on over there? We got to take all these problem starters out. So like I think in a normal scenario, you should definitely keep those people. I think Rome was, for people like Teeny and Genevieve, I think it's fair to say that they were probably trying to go with the group and not make waves with like all these new people that they're starting fresh with. So I think he was the safest choice.
I agree with Nina. I think this season's done a good job at setting up like cross tribal alliances, and it actually seems like for the first time in a couple of seasons, players are like they don't really care about like tribe lines. They're like ready to make alliances with like new people and work with them. We're not gonna
I
get
like
like a,
Like
a
that.
what was the red tribe from 45, just like that core four of like we're going
Yeah.
all the way to the final four.
Awful.
um
it's more
but
boring like that too.
Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Not as fun.
Also, like, yeah, like Soul, Rome, they're just butting heads. I think it gives them a lot more room to play with, but I don't know if you guys saw the teasers for next episode. They are going to be getting the whole cast is going to be getting split up into two groups. And I have the tribe divisions. I can send them to you guys now if you want.
Oh.
Unless
Inside
we
Yeah.
Yes, we have some inside Survivor intel here. But is there anything else, because that's kind of approaching like next week episode predictions. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with this week's episode?
This is more also next week because this goes into the last question I had.
Okay.
But it's not. I think it could be a good segue into everything
Sure.
else.
Go for it.
My question is, with like Rome gone, he was like a big player, so now there's kind of this power vacuum, I think, at
Mhm.
least especially in screen time wise, like confessionals and screen time, someone's going up a lot, like
Mm-hmm.
without it being like the Rome show anymore.
Yeah.
So I was kind of interested, like, there's 12 people left. I'm not sure about the tribe divisions yet, so I don't know what twist will happen, but out of the final 12, I wanted to ask, like, who do you guys think is in like the best position right now
Oh.
out of like the most steady, like maybe stable position? And I mean, I know this could be a lot of different people, but I was just curious what you guys thought.
And so this is not like entertainment filling in Rome's confessionals. This is just more
This
Do
is
you mean game wise?
Yeah, game
Hmm.
wise, like who do you think is the
Okay.
most like stable? And also, like who do you think is going to rise more in screen time now, or be like,
Okay.
Hmm.
it's kind of a twofer. So
Hmm. I mean, I just think Teeny is she's been my winner pick from episode one. There's still my winner pick, and I think Teeny's in a great position, and Teeny's always in a great position. Um,
okay,
as
girl.
as as for entertainment value, I'm gonna go make a prediction. I think Caroline is gonna have a Genevieve-esque rise. Maybe not to as such high peaks as Genevieve, but
No one can top
yeah,
Queen Genevieve.
no one can. Yeah, but I think Caroline is gonna have a big boost in screen time within the next couple of weeks. Nina, do you have
Yeah.
any thoughts?
Um, yeah. Well, first of all, I actually Caroline like grew on me so much. I hope we see more of her. I don't know what, like like her mannerisms and stuff. I was like, okay, I actually really she's really entertaining to me. And she kind of just like bypassed my radar the first time I was like
Hmm.
watching the people. So in terms of game, I kind of think I agree with you. Teeny seems I kind of wish I picked Teeny. Teeny seems like a really clever player, like really knows what's happening in the game. Um, and they also like friends with everyone. I think you were right on the nose with that. Teeny's doing great. I also think I think Sam and Sierra as a duo, as long as they're not targeted for being a duo, I think they could do really good and go really far.
Mm.
Sam is like super strong. Sierra seems very like personable, even though Sam doesn't. And like I think they could go really far with that. I think like I mean they Survivor kind of showed seeds of them being people not loving them like working together, but if that flies under the radar, I think they can go
Hmm.
really far. In terms of content, um honestly, I love that we're gonna see more of Soul without Rome. Like it's like his real self, not like if like no, like it's not fair to judge him based on like what he had to endure the last few episodes.
We get to
So
see
I hope we
single
see
soul, not father
yeah,
soul.
exactly. Um,
Good point. I didn't think about that.
yeah, so I see Andy taking a lot of the spotlight
Mm,
confessionals because
that's true.
he's just kind of a mess and you
Yeah,
know.
Hmm.
he's the next train
He
wreck
takes.
behind Rome.
Yeah.
I also now that you're talking about it too, I feel like Gabe's been very quiet recently. He was very big in the first few episodes. I feel like he might have another resurgence, especially if he's gonna start targeting people. Um, I'm just gonna send you guys the tribe divisions now because they are pretty interesting, and I'm actually gonna switch to not this one. Whoa! I made another template to just show the tribe divisions. You guys can't see it until the episode's released, but I sent you the divisions on Discord. So very
I'm opening it.
interesting. I'll read them out just right now. There's the yellow team, I guess, because they're still merged. Um, Yellow team is Teeny, Soul, Genevieve, all of the red tribe, and then all or no, not all of the yellow tribe. Andy, Sam, and Sierra. So it's an even
Interesting.
split 3-3. Then the blue team, we have Rachel on her own with everyone from blue.
Oh
Fuck
my god.
Gabe, Caroline, Kyle, Sue, Tiana.
Who
So
made these fucking tribes? This seems like not mixed at all.
Yeah, this is oh.
I think we can understand now why they showed so much of blue early on in the season, kind of like lead like all of their conflicts. I feel like a lot of either the Kyle Sue or the Gabe Tiana, some of those conflicts are going to come out next week for sure.
Yeah.
And where it ends up landing, who knows? But I want to get. I mean, you guys can take a second to look at it. I mean, Nina, you mentioned the Sam Sierra combo. Who knows? That might be in jeopardy this upcoming episode
Well, I
with the
mean, okay, so
way.
these are the tribes going forward, right? Like they
This is just for this week. There's because it's going to be a double boot
okay.
episode, so they're both going to tribal. Um,
When
like
only one
Well,
community merged.
I believe so.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I think Sam has Andy in his pocket, I think. Definitely more than Soul or Genevieve. I think if
Mm.
Yellow loses, like I think Genevieve, Soul, and Teeny are in trouble. I think Teeny's gonna go where the power is, because I think they've been really astute as to where that is. And it would
Mm.
seem with the majority, so I think Soul and Genevieve would be in trouble. As for
Uh oh.
Blue,
Mhm.
yeah.
So you're
Uh,
guessing that like next are we like predicting who's going next?
oh, sorry, I did
We
that. I
don't
don't
know. We
know.
can if you want, you can give some
Yeah, no, I'm
predictions.
totally down. So you would predict Genevieve?
Or Soul. I don't want Soul to get out. I have Soul, but
And you
Genevieve
that
just
just. I mean,
lost
I'm.
one of your
I will set,
players.
if
I
Genevieve gets out,
know.
I will set myself on fire. I am just so
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I feel quite as strongly about her, but I definitely don't. She has been entertaining. But I mean, just looking at the people, that just seems kind of where power lies.
And what was your thought for Blue? Because they're both gonna go.
Um, yeah, wow. I'm a lot less familiar with these people because I don't
You
like.
don't
I
have
haven't
any of
been.
them.
Yeah, and I'm not like rooting for them as much. I guess so. Caroline and Sue are a duo, right? I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're tight.
They're
I
really
honestly, I think that's the thing, like, with showmances and duos, I think that's either a really good thing, like, it will get you so far, or it'll just, like, tank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about them as a duo. I think if they aren't targeted, I well, I don't were most of these people on a tribe before together?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
all
all
the
of it's
whole
literally
time.
all. Rachel's the only one that's not on original Blue in that
Oh, I mean, well, then she's toast. She's she's a goner.
Yeah, they were all on blue except Rachel.
Yeah, rip to her. What it Ellis, what's the phrase you use? Like swap screwed or
Swap
something?
screwed.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, like that is swap screwed if I've
Yeah.
ever seen it.
I mean, Michael, do you have any thoughts?
Oh, I have so many. So I actually think I disagree with Nina on yellow.
Whoa.
I think the next time on shows Andy going nuclear because he didn't know that he was the
Backup.
the backup.
Oh
And
right, I
Sam
forgot
here.
about that.
And so I think Andy's immediately gonna go to Genevieve, Solentini, and be like, "We gotta get one of them out there. Like, they're such a strong duo. Like, they're working together. We gotta go." And so I think it's gonna be either Sam or Sierra from Yellow. I'm leaning more towards it being Sierra, though. I think it's gonna be her.
The only
It's gonna be
thing.
or Andy. It might be Andy. Andy might just go nuclear and then get himself out.
That's an
I
interesting
feel like
idea.
I feel like what's gonna happen is Sam's gonna win immunity on that team, and then Sierra's gonna go home as like
Oh,
the kind of like oh well we're left with one, or maybe Sam does something with his fake idol that he has, and
Oh
that comes into
yeah. Who
play.
knows if he's still?
So,
Yeah.
but in the most straightforward way, I think it's gonna be Sam or Sierra, and
I
on blue.
there
I'm
you
man.
go.
sorry.
No,
And then on blue, well, that's my prediction for yellow anyway.
Mhm.
I think Andy, Sam, and Sierra, I think that's breaking. And I think Teeny, Soul, and Genevieve can kind of just coast, especially after getting Rome out. Like, Genevieve's proven that, she's kind of a free agent now and not attached to Rome. So, and with Andy blowing up, I feel like it won't be hard to fly under the radar for that one. In terms of blue, I think the Gabe and Tiana thing is coming to a head. I think, if anything, I think Rachel might be in the safest position because I think people will be fighting for her vote. Because I think the blue drama has been bubbling for so long. Like, Tiana has taken every chance to like take a jab at Gabe. Like, I think Gabe knows that like if Tiana doesn't go home soon, like there's gonna be a bigger and bigger target on his back. So I think something's gonna happen between Tiana and Gabe. Because I would say like Sue and Kyle, but I feel like Sue doesn't have as strong of a pull or conviction to like get something as
Sue does have her
like
idol though.
Sue does have her idol, but I think she's gonna try and hold on to that for as long as possible. And if anything, Sue would probably want Tiana gone because Tiana knows about Sue's idol.
That is true. She said that last on this week's episode too.
Yeah,
I'm so
I think
oh,
Tiana's in trouble. I think Tiana's going next. It also doesn't help that Tiana's had such a little edit that
yeah.
like the editors seem to hate giving her screen time. Like, they hate it. They're like, they give her the bare minimum. So I think
Feel like
she might be cooked.
she's either going soon or gonna be huge in the end.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
interesting. I hope Kyle just wins immunity, so I won't have to be stressed out for that one. This is one prediction I'm making. Blue is going to tribal first, 100%, because
Interesting.
we have way more bigger characters on yellow, and I just think the editors were setting up a big personality, a big character is gonna go home from yellow. Whether it's Genevieve, whether it's Andy, Sam, Sierra, I think Soul and Teeny are. I don't feel like it's. I feel like Soul and Teeny are safe. I hope. I hope it's not. Hope it's not Soul. And but Blue, it's a little like a lot of times with the double boot episodes, it's like that first person that goes is a little bit more under edited because it's like less memorable in a way, and it's not nothing against that contestant. It's just kind of how this season, like, that's how the cards or whatever, the cookie crumbles or whatever saying it is. I'm going back and forth as you guys talk about Blue, because like you brought up a good point about like they'll need Rachel for numbers, but like will they? Because it's like they have 5 Blue and Rachel. For majority, you need 4. So like no matter what, Rachel, that means you still need to get a majority of the Blue tribe to have a majority with Rachel. So like if there's disputes going on in the Blue tribe, like a majority of them are still going to have to be in agreement to work with Rachel. If you like get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
So it makes it really interesting. Like I feel like Tiana's the obvious boot. So maybe I'm just gonna say Rachel. I don't know. Like, as for Yellow,
Oh.
there is something that hasn't been brought up yet. Sam did mention to Soul at one point. He's like talking about like the decoy vote or whatever, and it's like Rome's throwing your name out. But honestly, there's gonna be the decoy. I would rather it be Andy than you, Soul, which was a crazy thing to say.
Yeah. And not good for his game at all.
And then at Tribal, Andy looked at Sam and he's like, "Did you know about this?" He's like, "No, I had no idea." Lies. So
Lies, deceit, and deception.
We'll see if that comes
Do you think
back
he's
to.
gonna get called?
I think so.
I don't
Yeah, I was just
know.
about to ask.
I think Sam will. I think that. Well, I'm gonna be honest. They've released a sneak peek for next week's episode, and it's Andy having a conversation with Soul about that very topic.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's
basically you gets caught.
Basically confirmed. But, Sam could win immunity. I don't really know. I mean, it makes the editing of Sierra and Genevieve make a lot more sense if one of them were to go home this week. But I would also, it would be crazy if Sam has had so many confessionals. It would be crazy if he went home in this tribal. So I don't know. I think my final predictions are going to be, I'm going to say Rachel, and I'm going to say Genevieve. I think Genevieve's going. I'm sorry, Michael.
I can't wait to sit here next week and laugh at you all. Or I won't be here next week because I would have set myself on fire.
I like Genevieve. She's another one who like I feel like once they weaved out the noisemakers a little bit, she got to shine a little more. And I like her. Same with Rachel. Like there's always every season of Survivor I've watched, they like the people, I feel like they kind of chill with showing some people in the beginning and then they like come out a little later because they start making bigger moves. And Genevieve was one of them. Like that her getting Keyshawn, is that what she was? Yeah, like that whole thing was like I was like, wow, I really like this player in regards to Genevieve, and I didn't know it until like 30 seconds ago on episode like 4. So
I mean, I think by far that's still the best move of the game that's been done.
I agree.
I think it was the first time I was shocked at who
But do
was,
you
like,
want there to be? Do you want to have the best move on your resume at this point in the game?
Well, I don't know. Their tribe was so like small that at that point that like I
Who
feel
knows
like,
about it?
Yeah, exactly. Like Rome's gone now too.
Or
It's
Rome.
So, but we'll see. So, sorry, what?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, even if Rome, let's say Rome like didn't get out and like observed that, I don't think he would be able to comprehensively like use that as ammunition. I don't think he would be able to articulate what went down. But yeah, it's just my opinion.
And no one would believe him.
My only other thing why I'm going with Genevieve too is just because like in the next time on they showed so much of like Andy talking about like I need to get one of the gatas out, and there was a confessional from Teeny saying like we will eat the men, like there's like a girls alliance being formed, which a lot of times on those teasers, it's like, okay, whatever's being shown right now is like not what is gonna happen. Like
The
it's like
opposite
it's
will
just all
happen.
misdirection. But so maybe, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's either that's just why I'm going with Genevieve because I feel like it's not going to be a Gata. The Gata is going to be Rachel going home actually, and but then like still like I feel like a man maybe would probably still go home. How many? 1, 2, 3, 5. We only have 5 men. There's like a huge women's like majority right now. Two,
It's just
three,
5 men
four,
and 7
five,
women.
6. Oh yeah, I guess it's not that big. Um, but they could afford losing one and still have majority. So unless it is two. Anyways,
So to lock
Can
in everyone's final predictions for who's going home
mhm.
next, what are the final choices after hearing everything? We can
I'm
start with
going.
Ellis.
oh
I'm going Genevieve Rachel. Locking in. Final answer.
You, Rachel, Nina.
um like low key same. I think that's what I said. Or Teeny. Or oh no. Uh or Soul. Sorry, I know that's a lot of people.
Michael, do you want to
Or
go
not.
while
Oh, I
while
said
Nita
one.
gets her final picks in?
So, what's the final lock in? One from each.
Okay. Final lock in. I'm gonna say Rachel. I'm gonna go with Genevieve.
Yeah,
Okay, so
those
I'll
are
be
the
the
right picks,
outlier.
Nina.
I'll be the outlier. I'm gonna say Sierra and Tiana. That's my
Ooh,
guess for the
okay.
two people next.
Tiana's
Not
a
a
good
single
pick.
man being in our predictions.
No,
Goodbye,
I don't
women.
think so.
Goodbye, women.
Goodbye, women. No more women.
Um,
It's the year of the
this
men.
is this is a little off topic, but I just thought of it now. Can I ask you guys a question
Sure.
about it? Um,
Sure.
if you were on Survivor, like you guys as yourselves, out
Okay.
of all the players here, who do you
Hmm.
think your gameplay would be most similar to, and who would you
Ooh,
try to alliance with?
that's a very good question, Nina.
Just thought of it.
Um, Michael, do you have any initial thoughts?
Okay, well, obviously I would want to align with Genevieve. Bestie Jen. Um, but man, it's hard to say who I think I'd play most like. I'm trying to remember when we had that faux Survivor game that we all played, and how I how I played with that. I think the person I played the most like was honestly Caroline. Um, really. So
And Sue is back.
yeah, yeah, maybe like Caroline or Sue is who I played more like. But I would definitely want to align with Genevieve, and I think I play more like Sue or Caroline.
Ooh. I would hope that I feel like oh, I don't know. I would definitely want to align with someone like I feel like you need to have some people that like are like presenting as strategic. So like someone like Dini or maybe even like a Gabe. Like Gabe's been a controversial figure. But like
Yeah, just wounded little birds.
yeah. But like having people like that, I feel like in my pre-merge I would be like really trying to like build up the like uh oh what I'm just one note like tribe strength. And yeah, I guess I feel like best case I would hope I'd be playing like I mean Teeny's playing a great game right now, but I don't think I would be able to pull that off. I'd probably be something more like Soul where I'm like getting blindsided. Like I think I have a good base, but it's just not happening. Um yeah, there's my answer.
Those are good answers.
Okay. Interesting. I guess we will see
Yeah,
next
we're
episode.
reaching 50 minutes just
Yeah.
now.
So I
So,
guess we will see next episode what happens.
yeah, thank you for coming on the show, Nina. This was a lot of
Yes,
fun.
Nina, thank you so much
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
You got some very good questions too. That was very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, we will see you guys next week. We are a bit late again, but yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Be fair.
Bye.